Good morning, everyone. I believe we are live on Kick and TikTok. Um, I am in day 12, 13, 154 days. Had a late start to the morning, issues with my setup, but we are going to run quickly into today's topic. And it's a topic I've run quite a few times, but I always have to come back to it because people always keep on making one and the same mistake. And I was actually triggered by an ad that this other personal trainer had posted. He's like, you don't need cardio to lose weight, and you don't need this and stuff like that. Which is, I'm not gonna completely dismiss it out the blue, but it's misleading. It's misleading, and I'll tell you why. Yes, there are a million ways to skin a cat. Any time in fitness, there's always a different way to go about something. However, you, people that go out their way to dismiss certain things in order to promote another thing are just going to end up losing, right? Most people don't want to come outright and admit that, listen, this is the only style I know, therefore, this is the style that we'll be training in, right? Most people don't take the time to actually research or reflect on different training methods to figure out whether something works or not. They just quickly dismiss it out the bat. And I'll just go into a bit of detail with that when I say you get people that, okay, let's go to what that guy said about you don't need cardio to lose weight. Ideally, that's true and false all in one sense, right? He goes on to saying that weight training and a proper diet will get you to burn fat, which is there. I mean, if you can keep a strict diet and a proper weight training regime and supplement well, then yes, you will get a result. But cardio is still very vital in burning fat, especially, but it's the type of cardio that you use that's going to determine what type of fat you'll be losing. And yes, that is a thing, right? I'll give you a hack. When bodybuilders prepare to go on prep or to go on stage, they majority of them enter what we call low intense cardio, which is not excessive cardio, which is literally going on the treadmill, walking incline on the treadmill, and burning weight systematically. It helps with a lot of visceral fat burning. Stubborn fat, for those people who don't understand. There's certain areas that you can't just simply target weight loss to unless you're doing it a specific way, which is where low intense cardio comes from. Walking incline on a treadmill, walking thousands and thousands of steps a day works on burning visceral fat. That is cardio. Not that is very important, you see. So just because you can lose or you burn a lot of fat with weight training and you can convert a lot of muscle, it does not mean that having cardio in your regime means that you're not going to burn fat. You see, that's what I hated the most about the post, is because it's misleading, right? You can't say that this won't work because you're promoting something else, right? That is why I always tell people that when you get a trainer, you need to consult so that you hear the conversation that this person has. How do they address things? Do they speak on things that they don't know, or do they speak on things that they know and let you know that, listen, I have not ventured in this, therefore it's not a part of my training or whatever, so that you understand what you're getting yourself into. It's ridiculous because it's not just in the cardio aspect, or the biggest aspect, and it's from a lot of people that like copying online fitness influencers and trainers. When as an individual will come to you and say, I don't do this exercise, it doesn't work, right? And because that person is popular, famous, or whatever to you, you take that concept that he's telling you and then you make it a law. Yeah, deadlifts don't work. Or I don't do one arm lat pull downs because Christopher Bumstead said that they're useless and he doesn't feel them. Just because he doesn't feel the exercise doesn't make it useless, right? There are other people that swear by those exercises because they know how to incorporate them into the program. Now, people are quick to jump to things that they don't know and say that it doesn't work altogether. And the exercise is there, right? It's been there longer than the influence has been there, right? But they still want to go about their way to say that no, said exercise doesn't work because I don't do, right? So this is the question I ask: why doesn't it work, right? Why are you saying it doesn't work, right? If I tell you, would you like to? Okay, no. I tell you, hey, would you? Let's do leg pull downs. No, leg pull downs don't work. Why doesn't it work? The exercise stretches the muscle, and I have a way to put it into my program. Seated leg pull downs, whatever. Why are you saying it doesn't work? No, I don't like the exercise because I don't feel it. You see, I is very important. You see, a lot of times people take preference and make it law. You can't take preference and make it law, right? It goes back to what I was saying about people's connotation on supplements and certain food deals and all that other stuff. They'll come right out and say, "No, I don't need whey protein. I don't take whey protein. You shouldn't be taking whey protein." You see, you were fine when you were like, "I don't need this." But when you jumped quickly to saying you don't need this, that's the moment you take something from yourself and you project it onto a person, it's just a perfect sign that you should not be a coach or a trainer because you only know how to train yourself. And therefore, you don't know how to build another person. And you're going to systematically waste that person's time because you do not know how something else will affect someone else, even though you're not doing it, right? You've never taken the time to study, to research, to experiment, to trial. You've never done that. So you're just getting into a space where you're like, the reason you're not going to do this is because I personally don't do this. And there's absolutely no need for you to venture into something that I don't do. That isn't that isn't the case. I mean, you don't go to school and oh, perfect example. Perfect example. When you're in school, most teachers are teaching you subjects that they're not doing in real life, right? Business managers don't have business; they have a qualification to teach business, but they will easily tell you not to go into a certain thing because they have no experience in said thing. So what are you getting from that person apart from the theory, right? You're getting theory from an individual. You're not getting experience. You're not getting trial and error. You're not getting all this other stuff because he just doesn't know, right? And then you get someone to make a book, and obviously going deeper into that, they mess it up because they don't sit you down and then we consult as to why you want to venture in this way, why you want to do this thing, why you want to go this route, right? It's always a mess. It's always a mess, and people don't actually invest in it all that well. So you want to stay away from anyone that speaks like that, right? This guy goes on to say, yeah, cardio isn't important. You don't need to do cardio because you can do all these other things. Going back to one of my first videos, I say you should do everything, but there's a way to do it, and that's why you come to a professional for help so that you find out how to do everything all at once, right? I've been in the shoes of someone who only does one thing, and trust me when I say it doesn't work out for you in the long run, right? It doesn't work out for you at all. You do one type of training, you get one type of result. If you learn how to incorporate different types of training and create your training method, then you get things right. Don't just dismiss something out the blue without proper understanding. That's where people try different things, right? On paper, there are things that are meant for a specific type of person, right? And then there, it's easier to then advise someone based on the goal that they have. So your goal is 100% going to decide the type of training that you do because there's certain things that you cannot incorporate unless you force it, right? If you tell me that you want to run marathons, right? Then I'm not gonna train you like a powerlifter. I'm not gonna have you strength training to deadlift 300 kgs or get you to bench a certain weight because that's not the optimization for your training. You want to be light, you want to run faster, you want to run longer. Then there's a different type of training, all in that. And then same thing with a powerlifter. I'm not going to make a powerlifter run 10 Ks before he lifts the weight. He's not storing enough energy. You see? So there are things that are based on your goal, you don't do. But when you generalize, when you go into a space and you generalize a specific type of training, a specific type of movement um, to control a narrative so that you can sell something, is where you're wrong, right? Very, very, very wrong. So you need to, I think you need to learn how to discern and you need to learn how to listen. Because while you're listening, you'll be able to hear from the person that you're talking to that we don't have the same idea, you and I. We don't have the same concept on what it is we're doing this training for and what the goal is and what the plan is. Therefore, with that being said, I think I'll opt for someone else, right? No trainer has a million clients, right? It's better the trainer that has a few clients that understand than the one that has hundreds and hundreds of clients and he doesn't focus on them, he doesn't give them enough attention, and he also doesn't actually know what they want, right? My biggest byline and the thing I always say is don't become an invoice. Don't become a person that's training under someone just to pay their bills. Know what it is that you want, know what it is that you're going for so that you stay away from any mishaps, right? Going back to how people view certain things and just dismiss it out of the blue because they don't want you to know that they don't know nothing about it. Nutrition and supplement is the number one thing people get wrong. Nutrition and supplement is the number one thing they get wrong because, like I said in my video the other day, don't go to someone who can't afford to have an opinion on something, right? If someone comes to you and tells you that the reason they don't train in a commercial gym is because they're expensive, but does home workouts with bottles of filled water and all that other stuff, they can comment on why they do home fitness, but they have no room commenting on why they don't go to a commercial gym because they just can't afford it or they're not willing to budget for it. Meaning they're not in a position to comment on said thing, right? Same thing with supplements. If someone tells you that they don't buy supplements because they're expensive, that the moment they say that, everything else they're about to say about supplement is invalid and should not be considered because they are not about to tell you anything factual. They're not about to tell you anything important, and they're not about to tell you anything that is going to contribute to a better understanding of supplement. They're just about to tell you that whey protein is expensive. I don't buy it. I rather buy food. And then they start giving you a whole bunch of wash about whey protein that is not factual, but they just want to sound right in the moment. So you stay away from people like that. You don't comment on people that don't lift weights. The reason I don't lift weights is because you get injured there. Okay, how long have you not been lifting weights? Because the moment you say that you don't lift weights, removes you from having an opinion on what people who lift weights do. The moment you don't eat fat, you don't consume fat burners and you don't consume whey protein, and you've never, immediately disqualifies you from having an opinion, right? Have an opinion where you have experience, right? That is the most vital part about understanding um, advice. Because the truth is, everybody now is a fitness expert, right? And the people with the actual qualification are just noise nowadays because the craziest thing the craziest thing sounds the smartest, and people love shortcuts, right? I'll give you a nice example. Sam Suller came into the game telling people that he gyms drinking 2 gallons of chocolate milk, right? And he believes in the if it fits your macros diet plan, right? And it worked for him. So do I agree with it? No, because I tried it. I eat, and it didn't work for me, and it didn't work for two other clients that I put it on because um, it didn't really build muscle. It just kept you a specific way. It kept you a specific way, and kept you a specific size. So was it optimal for aesthetic training? Was it optimal for mass muscle building? No, right? Do I go around telling people not to do it? I say it's not my thing. If you want to do it, you find someone else who does it if it fits your macros. I do not incorporate it, and therefore it saves the day. I don't have to sit and force myself to talk to someone that doesn't want to do what I want to do and doesn't want to go with stuff that I'm knowledge and experience about. And it's fine. Move on to the next, right? There are close to 8 billion people in the world. You don't have to please everyone. Being a people pleaser is where you get it wrong. So, if you have a workout regime and it's working for you, continue to do it, right? Don't be bullied into thinking that something else. If you the internet is there, trainers are there. My platform is open for questions. If you ever get to a point where you want to ask something because you feel like incorporating something new, by all means. And mind you, what I'm saying now applies 1000% to natural bodybuilders that don't take steroids or don't take anabolic performance enhancing drugs. They do not take it. They should not have an opinion because they have absolutely no idea. Like they'll jump out of the bed and start explaining a million side effects that they've never experienced. They'll also start telling you about um, tragic things that's going to happen to you that they have personally never experienced. They just went online and made assumptions, right? And they go on spilling a whole bunch of rubbish. You never have kids. Ronnie Coleman has multiple kids. There's so many bodybuilders that have families. But because one person wants to scare you into living their lifestyle, they're going to come up with whatever they want to come up with because it's easier to regurgitate and talk absolute nonsense instead of actually speaking from a place of knowledge. So, as I end this video, what I would like to continue to push out is that focus on things that you know, stay away from things that you don't. Life is so much simpler for you that way, and don't dismiss something because you know nothing about it. If you want to know more, ask questions. It's as simple as that. Ask questions and then go into it. Um, Simply saying you won't do something because someone told you not to do it, it means it's ignorant, right? Guys, have a good Tuesday. I hope everybody's back in the stretch. I know that unlike the rest of us who didn't stop going to gym, that everybody's back in full swing, everybody's back into their routines, and that you're doing well. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and we will meet tomorrow. Appreciate you, guys.